Hello there. It's Geeks Assemble time, and I'm joined as usual by Susan. Hello, Susan.
Hello.
Um, and so this week we're talking about a movie from 1990, so long ago now. Time flies, doesn't it?
Right?
So right, yeah. Um, and this one is a Sam Raimi movie,
Uh-huh.
starring Liam Neeson. Um, as far as I know, Sam Raimi wanted to do the Shadow movie, and the rights just wasn't going his way, so he wrote his own story, which became Darkman.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so, and you can see elements of the Shadow in this movie.
Uh-huh.
So he got his way, sort of. Um, yeah, so it's about revenge, getting revenging um, a gang who has ruined this scientist's life by totally disfiguring him facially and all like that. And of course, he's a scientist who comes up with the this way of creating skin,
For
to
graft purposes, yeah.
says. But of course, the skin doesn't last that long. So it's one of those movies where he's after revenge, disguising himself, um, and he gets revenge in the end, of course. But with everything in between, we will go over to Susan now for her opening thoughts on Dark Man.
All right. Well, I have watched this movie about 10, 15 times. It's a really good movie. I loved Liam Neeson. When he played Qui-Gon Jinn, I was like, yes, Star Wars finally gets it. Like, here's a real quality guy. And but Darkman was incredible because it was actually the first time I'd seen Frances McDormand, before her whole Fargo thing.
Yeah.
And so I recognized her in Fargo, but I also thought it was I mean, I like Sam Raimi movies. He's done a lot of really cool things in it, in the way. And yeah, Ivan and Sam both wrote this, and so there were some brothers there. And then one of the things that you get to kind of see is you get to see all of these filmmakers that actually like star in this movie.
Yeah.
There was Ted, of course, Ted Raimi. There was John Landis, John Cameron, and Joel and Ethan Cohen. I mean, I was just like, and they're all acting in it. They don't speak very much, but they all are acting in it. It's just like, is that who I think it is? And oh my gosh, that was so fun to
Very,
just
very hard to see them though, with because there were cameos in the hospital with the masks on, wasn't they?
yeah,
Yeah. I recognise John Landis though straight away.
yeah. Well, I recognized the Joel and Ethan in the car
Yeah.
during that other chase. Yeah, that's just so cool. Oh man. And then there's all, I mean, it's really a good story. It's kind of like a Elephant Man meets Face Off kind of thing. That was fun. And I love how the revenge happens. That was really something amazing. And, but it's pretty funny because Darkman 2, what's his name? Durant returns or whatever.
How?
I don't know how. I don't know. It's just I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen two or three. Alex, was like, you know that this is part of a trilogy. I'm like, is it? And then he's like, yeah. So I just I haven't watched the following ones, and I haven't read the graphic novel about these, but it's he's a really he really is very, very shadow like. I can see that. I didn't know what you that thing that you said earlier. I didn't know that. I heard that they were doing graphic novel and that it covered the three movies. And so I mean, in a way, I think he's DC, not Marvel. I can't remember what I found out about that, but anyway, it's a really cool story, and Frances McDormand acts her socks off, and Liam Neeson. It was
Choose
an
the
American accent. What?
Liam Neeson really chews the
Oh,
scenery.
yeah, he's amazing, and this is a really good. There was plenty of like like political stuff. It's corporate stuff. It's gangster stuff. It really is a lot. There's a lot of socio things in this. I mean, he actually is fighting a world of darkness and evil, and he himself became dark so that the evil would lose. But anyway,
Yeah,
yeah, I liked the sets. The I liked the ambiance. I liked the. I just it was a really good story. Anyway, that's my opening thoughts. Go ahead.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's a trilogy, but the second and the third one never made it to the theaters. It was straight to video releases.
Oh,
Um, yeah, this was the only one that went to the cinema. And of course, Liam Neeson isn't in the second or third one as well.
right.
It's is it Vosloo, Arnold Vosloo, who plays him in the other two? Uh, we all know from the Mummy movies. Um,
Oh, yeah.
aha, aha.
Uh-huh.
Done a bit of research,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's great to see all these little cameos, these producers, directors pop up, um, and also as well Jenny Agutter popping up as the Doctor, where she's sticking needles in him as he's going round on the machine. Just
Yeah.
a small little cameo for British actress Jenny Agutter. Um,
Yep.
sort of sort of reunited with Landis there from the American Werewolf time. Um,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, you do get you can see why Raimi did want to do a shadow movie, but he wasn't allowed. So he'll make one himself. He'll write it himself. He'll do this. Call it Darkman. The skin is lasts longer in the dark. Uh, the you know, and the way Liam Neeson just absolutely chews away at the scenery. He is well over the top in this. Uh,
Yeah.
but
Nice American accent.
you sure it's American? I just thought it was his Irish accent coming through.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. He might have been trying to do American, but his Irish was there. Um,
Oh,
but yeah, he is supposedly killed by the gang because they want to cover up
mhm,
the wheelings and dealings of this. Is it estate? Uh, this person who builds on land, who's just stealing the land from people and building skyscrapers on them
mhm,
at a small price. Um, yeah, he's thrown out the window. His sword is thrown out the window. His face is absolutely scarred. His hands, being a scientist, the worst thing you could do was take away his hands. he's all his hands are all bandaged up, and he really, as the movie goes along, he's insane. He has lost his mind.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
oh, you can tell as soon as he gets the rage, he's totally insane. Uh,
Right. And he
very,
stops listening to his girlfriend,
mm, um, but yeah,
Julie.
it's all action all the way. Um,
Yep.
the only thing about it for me is it is 1990. Some of the effects are very, very dated now, and you can see
Hmm.
they are. Um, with the backdrops, it's supposed to be backdrops of skyscrapers. You can see that's film. Um, you can
Yep.
see you can see the when he's burning his hand and all like that. You can see that's a false hand. The
Huh.
But it was 19. It's early days, special effects for these type of movies, but it's still a good watch. Um,
It's
yeah, I'd also say you've got right at the end one of the moments. He walks off and leaves his Francis and walks into the crowd.
Julie.
Julie, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm talking about a real name there, aren't I?
Yeah.
He walks into the crowd and leaves her. He doesn't want her to be in trouble in her life, so he puts another a mask on. It's Bruce. It's Campbell.
I know. That was fun.
Sam Raimi always looks after his friends.
Yeah, he
So,
does.
so any moments for you, Susan?
Well, yeah, I mean, before he went completely loopy, he was trying to get back together with Julie, but
Yeah.
you know, in those moments, he was also like pushing her away at the same time,
Mm.
worried that his face would melt before they got through with Nookie or through with kissing or whatever. He was just worried that he was not going to survive his face was not going to survive long enough to really, go on a proper date with her. And
Bubbling away.
yeah, the you can tell that his burns really inspired the same kind of look in the mummy.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean that those single strands right down here on the cheek, like so that you could see the teeth underneath. And then this thing, yeah. So I was just like imagining one of those scarab beetles coming off and going in, and I was just like, of course it's the mummy. So that was really good, and like I liked the the ambiance of like New York or whatever, wherever it happened to be, and that was cool. And um, yeah, it was you know Colin Friels as Louis Stack at the end of it, Nelson Machita as Yakitito,
Mhm.
and Jesse Lawrence Ferguson as Eddie Black. I mean, and then of course Larry Drake as Robert Durant. The cast was great. The cast was really amazing, and so yeah, that basically that basically described it. I liked the Can I get the napkins? Yeah. There you go. And the the way that uh his anger and stuff, and the creative way that Liam Neeson has of showing sort of like a fearful, angry, insanity that was really cool, actually. And yeah, so it. What is the Shakespeare? Is it Othello or Lear? One of the Shakespeare stories is all about a prince of good becoming completely bonkers. Anyway, that's it's just so good. It had some of the same the same kind of energy as that. And yeah, uh I like how Raimi uses colors and bright shades of things, That was great. And
Hit you right between the eyes.
uh-huh. Yeah, and I like that it didn't even though the shadow wasn't wasn't produced. This is another one of those ones that became a good comic after the movie.
Yeah.
So they created their own character that would become comic book later. That was fun. Okay, so all of those uh, things are stuff that I really liked, and I don't know if there's anything that I don't like about this movie. I mean, it it was um, pretty. It was pretty even, Steven, for like all the SJW things that I really like. So I mean, like he was a disabled person who is like in inventing and being creative all the way through the a, a suddenly way bigger disability coming upon him. You know, that was cool. Anyway, uh, yeah, go ahead.
But also, you've also on the other side of the bad guys, you also had a disabled henchman with one leg. Uh,
Oh yeah, exactly,
all the time.
exactly.
I mean, that was a bit of a light comedy relief there, but
Yeah,
I've never seen or heard of a henchman only having one leg. Like,
that,
uh, that's the new one on me.
yeah, and then the fact that his prosthetic was a high caliber firearm, that
Yeah,
was cool. Very Bond, very that would be a Bond villain type of thing.
yeah, yeah. But you mentioned earlier, you mentioned the ambience of the movie as well. That's down to the music and Danny Elfman.
Danny
Um,
Elfman.
ever since he came, sort of, his name became big in the movies since, well, the Batman, wasn't it? In the 80s
Uh-huh.
when he sort of struck gold. So you know straight away which is an Elfman score now. And straight away you felt, yeah, Danny Elfman, and you did get the feel of the grandest thing with the music score. You think, yeah, this is mostly coming straight off the back of Batman because this was 1990, Batman was 89, so you got that same sort of feel of sort of dark, eerie, at stake, things are at stake, sort of score.
Yeah, he just wrote the score for the like I know that he wrote the score for the first Beetlejuice, but he wrote the score for the second Beetlejuice. So that's cool. I mean, he's
He's,
super amazing.
yeah, he's up there with the biggest film scorers in the world now.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that added to the ambience of the movie for me, and also as well, um, the stunt wise, one of the main stunt is the helicopter stunt near the end, where Darkman is hanging off the helicopter and he's just being dragged through the city, and it looks way high for the stuntman to be hanging off that rope going around the city.
No,
And that was a long sequence.
yeah,
So you've got to give the thumbs up to these stuntmen.
exactly.
It adds everything to movies. If you see the stunts are done really well, it adds to the movie enjoyment of the movie.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that. Go ahead.
no, go on.
No. All right. Well, that um, they the the fact that he didn't have any weapons and he was just using his intellect too.
Yeah,
You know, and so I mean, he didn't really have a heck of a lot to fight with when he was being tormented by those guys.
it was pure strength and rage, really,
Hmm.
and insanity. What
Hmm.
what kept him going.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, it is the effects are a little bit dated now. Say it was 1990. We're in 2025 now, so you expect it to be a little bit dated. The effects of gone through the roof these days. You can never tell what's real or not. Um, but
Exactly.
it doesn't really take away from the movie.
Nope.
So anything else you want to say before final say and score?
Um. Yeah. I just love the Sam Raimi is still like he's got like four productions coming up, and so
Oh,
he's
he's still
still like
relevant
hu-
today, really.
100 miles an hour ahead, and so that's just it's just really great, you know. And I love that Bruce Campbell was in it too. That you mentioned that earlier. That
Wherever Sam Raimi goes, there's always a little Brucey somewhere
somewhere, yeah,
in the movie. Yeah, he always is a little cameo.
yeah.
So, what's your final say and score then, Susan?
Well, I would encourage folks to watch this and to know that there are two other movies that were made in the 90s for the trilogy, but that one of Sam Raimi's projects right now is a TV movie about Darkman. So
Cool.
yeah, I hope that he comes back with this. I mean, it's his character, right? So he should
Yeah,
do more with it.
yeah.
And yeah, good choice, Lee. And
I haven't seen it for a while.
so my final say is yeah, be quick to check this out, and also know that sometimes these superheroes that we discuss are not the typical superheroes,
They're not.
but he is definitely in there as far as being a superhero movie, just because of how amazing and how much Liam Neeson just munched scenery. And and yeah, so I will give this 10 vats of skin goo out of 10. To me, it was really good to watch it, and I've ordered it again, just so that I can, revisit it. And also, I really liked seeing Frances McDormand's early before the whole thing. That to me reminded me that
She won
she
all
was
the awards.
doing. Yeah, yeah, cool. Over to
Yeah,
you, Lee.
um, yeah, it's a great movie. Action, comedy, um, as you say, superhero, anti-hero, whatever you want to call him, because he's not
Mhm.
all good. Um, Still enjoyable to watch. It's not an intellectual story. It's just about pure revenge. So
Mhm.
you don't have to understand the. There's nothing really that difficult to understand in the plot. Um,
No.
as I said, the effects are a 1990s effects. So it's not none of this amazing CGI. But I'll give this. I'm going to give this 9.5 rivet guns out of 10. And if you've seen the movie, you'll know why I said rivet guns. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a fun movie to watch. It's got a cult following now, so I think most of Sam Raimi's movies have cult followings. So
Yep.
he knows what he's doing. So I'd like to thank Susan for joining me today, talking Darkman. It's always a pleasure when we sit down and talk about.
I have bandages on today too.
Oh no, she's out for revenge.
I am.
So, guys, if you've seen Darkman, please leave a message below on this video. Let us know what you thought of it. Or if you haven't, go out and watch it. We'll recommend go watch it. It's one of these quick things. Also, if you'd like to join our little group and be on these little casts we do, leave a message on the video. I share it on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, X, or whatever you want to call it. Um, Instagram, I share it all over. So you'll find us all over as Geeks Assembled. There's many, many videos we have got up about movies, TV shows, audio dramas, music. So just contact us if you want to be on. You just need to be 18 plus because some things are 18 rated. It's like this movie here, 18.
Hmm.
Um, you need a working camera and microphone on the device you use, and we'll get you on. We use the Zoom app. It's one of the easiest apps you can use. Um, so just come and join us. Please. Also, if you've got any ideas of what you think we should be reviewing, give us some. Tell us what you think we should review, and we'll see if we can review stuff. Because it's always me and Susan having to think what we can do. So we like some of input like that as well. So
Sure.
until next time, guys, please be safe. You know, and if you want revenge, remember it's always a dish served cold.